Hello everyone, welcome to Booking Forward to It. Today I'd just like to talk to you guys about some books that I'm really excited to read to motivate myself to keep reading and perhaps to seek out new books among the books that I've already bought as opposed to books on the shelves at Dimmicks. So enough of me yakking on, let's get right into it. The first books I want to talk to you about in this video I'll be covering in one chunk because they are a few of the Horrible Histories books. I adore Horrible Histories. In fact, I think I really got into it with the TV show on ABC. I loved the TV show. I used to watch it whenever it was on. I think I've memorized most of the music video songs that they've made, and I'm pretty sure I still remember the theme tune. I have Savage Stone Age, I have Terrible Tudors, Awesome Egyptians, and Blitzed Brits. I also read one other Horrible Histories novel. I think it was Incredible Incas. It must be in my bookshelf somewhere, but I absolutely loved that as well. So I can't wait to sink my teeth into these. It'll be a really nice dip back into my childhood. Yeah, I'm really excited about these. Next up, Reflections in Glass by Archbishop Peter Carnley. And I'm just gonna read the blurb because I think that kind of sums up what this book is about. As Anglican Archbishop of Perth since 1981, Peter Carnley has stirred up controversy with his progressive religious and social views. When he was elected Primate of Australia in 2000, an article written for the Bulletin magazine prompted a public furore. He continues to lead the country's 4 million Anglicans with an outspokenness that earns him both criticism and admiration. Now, with signature candor, he shares his opinions on some of the key ideological questions facing the church and society as a whole today. I don't really know much about religion, even though I went to an Anglican high school for 7 years, but I think this will be a really interesting examination of the place religion has in modern society and the way it should be evolving or shouldn't be evolving with the social attitudes of the time. It sounds really fascinating, at least in terms of the topics it covers, so I can't wait to read this, a bit of non-fiction. The next book I wanted to talk about was Girls of Riyadh by Raja Al Sania. Hopefully I'm saying that right. From what I can see, I think this book is about 4 Saudi Arabian women who are navigating romance and love and sexuality and their careers and just kind of, social obligations in a very strict, very traditional religious society. I think this is going to be a really interesting depiction of a culture that I don't really know much about. I think this sounds absolutely fascinating and I feel like I could get really immersed into a book like this. So yeah, I can't wait to pick this up. So this book, White Man Falling by Mike Stocks, is about a retired Indian police officer who had to retire because he suffered from a stroke, which then impaired a lot of his ability to function. But then one day, as he's going down the street, a white man suddenly falls from the sky at his feet and dies. And because of that, he becomes the talk of the town. It says here that he becomes the laughing stock of his community because of this weird event that happened. I also think it has some elements of Pride and Prejudice in it. He has, 5 daughters that he's trying to marry off, and I'm kind of detecting hints of that, which I'm also quite intrigued by because I love Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, I think this sounds like a really, really interesting book. Also, I'm pretty sure this book is set in Tamil Nadu, which is where I come from. I was born in India. Tamil Nadu is the state I was born in. I speak Tamil. And I can even tell from the names on the blurbs, like R.M. Swaminathan. Swaminathan is the name of my grandfather. Like, I think that's really cool. I don't really get to read about places I'm from in the books I generally pick up, so that's really exciting. Next, I want to talk about Spring Awakening. I picked this up at the drama bookshop when I went to New York with my mom and my little sister. I was so excited because it was just a bookshop filled with plays. Oh, I felt like I was in heaven. It was the coolest experience. If I ever go back to New York, that is the first place I'm going to visit. So this musical is a contemporary musical. I think it's actually a rock opera, and it's based off of a play by the same title by this German playwright that I've forgotten the name of, I'm so sorry, who basically wrote it as a form of social commentary on the utter lack of sex education and educating children, how things like masturbation and desire are normal things and how we shouldn't shame children for feeling those urges. Even though I know how the story ends, I really wanted to pick up the script because I don't know if I'll ever get to see it performed in my lifetime. And also, I know from listening to the soundtrack that the language is really, really beautiful, and I'd love to be able to, you know, keep that with me and read over it and come back to it and really ponder on it. I think that'll be really, really valuable and a really lovely thing to do. What I really want to do with this is to read it, but with the soundtrack playing in between the scenes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my headphones in, read the first scene, and whenever a song comes up, I'm going to play that song. And I'm going to, you know, keep going with that throughout the entirety of the script. I think I'm going to try and commit to like a 3-hour sit down, finish this play, listen to the soundtrack, and just have that immersive experience. I think that's the next best thing to going to see the show. So that's something I really, really can't wait to do. Next, I want to talk about Speaking Out, a 21st Century Handbook for Women and Girls by Tara Moss. This book appears to be almost a guide for girls and women on how to assert themselves in public spaces, how to negotiate, how to make your voice heard, how to speak out, as is evident in the title. I think this sounds really interesting. I think it's going to look at the way gender functions to, I guess, disadvantage women in these situations. It says in the blurb, with a special focus on public speaking, writing, social media, and online safety, she offers tips on how to research, form arguments, find support, and handle criticism. Any book that better enables me to shut down misogynists, I'm really happy to read. I know firsthand how frustrating it can be when you care so much about an issue and you know you're right, or you know that your issue is so important, but you just can't quite get the words out and you come out as this rambling, babbling mess. Similar to how I'm coming across now, probably. But yeah, I think just for that reason, I would probably definitely give this book a go. Ooh, sorry if the camera angle just shifted a bit. My camera stopped recording halfway through. Gotta love technology. Anyway, the last book I wanted to talk about was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Now, I'm sure most of you know what this book is about, but from what I've heard, this book is about a man who basically has a wish granted to him that his portrait will be able to age instead of him, so that he could remain young and fit and healthy and enjoy all of life's vices and pleasures. This sounds like such an interesting premise. I think it could go in so many directions. I have heard nothing but wonderful things about Oscar Wilde's writing. I think this will be a really wonderful place to start with his writing. I've never read any of his works before, so very, very keen to pick this up. Also, this cover is absolutely stunning. It's by Collins Classics. I love the black and the white and the yellow. I think it's so eye-catching and a bit creepy, and it absolutely drew me in. So I can't wait to pick this up very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. Those are just some books that I'm really excited to pick up in the near future, all from my own bookshelf. And until next time, I am looking forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye.